So apparently the guy who invented Lululemon basically had an issue with Japanese people.
Oh yeah.
And they can't pronounce their L's, so he made a name with 3 fucking L's in it. So they had a hard time pronouncing it.
EOTech EFLX, brand new from EOTech. You think I'm gonna get canceled? I think I'm gonna be the first person from Cypress High School to be canceled.
Jay's 10-8 with it though.
Jay likes to fight. He's 10-8. We'll have him talk about it. But
Fuck out of my seat.
you got it, brother. CEO's back.
You want to take my seat?
Fuck out of my seat.
Dude, this thing is Jay runs this shit looser than his credit score, man. This is fucking.
Wait, so we've just been dead air this whole time, just talking shit?
Yeah, that's kind of how you start.
That's
You gotta
literally
get
how
warmed
we
up, get the
start
nerves
this
up.
thing out every time.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch this baloney.
Hey, folks, welcome back to Standby. Here with the one, the only Tony. We got C down here. We got Mr. Chris. And we got my doppelganger, as folks say. Not really.
My name's Phil 2.
Phil 2.0. It's my little brother Wyatt. All around gun guy, hunter, Boogaloo supporter.
No, take that one out.
No, he's a Boogaloo supporter. He's also the youngest FUD west of the Mississippi.
You guys want a lever action?
You guys want to talk about lever actions and 45 ACP?
I'm not
is
selling.
your guy.
I'm not selling them.
I'm not selling.
Talking about the EOTech today. What's the site called?
EOTech EFLX.
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 It's the new Pistol Man and Red Dot site from EOTech. How long has it been out now?
So they announced it, I think it was actually last year.
Last year.
At SHOT Show. And it dropped. I just got this a month ago, maybe.
When did it hit the stores?
I think people started seeing it like late November.
Okay.
Our shop where we do everything from Chosen, their shipment didn't come in, like I said, until a month or two ago.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, EOTech has been taking their sweet time sending them shit. So super cool. You know all about that.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
Hector, call me.
So we're going over the EOTech EFLX. So some highlight points about it. It is, like I said, it's the EOTech version. It's their first open emitter, their first red dot in general for a pistol. Open emitter. Price point on it for, I think standard is $389. So you can find anywhere between $350 and $390, anything worth in there. Chosen Armory, who we deal with, they've just started carrying these things, I believe. So
Full time, right? They got them in the shop.
I believe they have them in the shop, and they have more coming in, because I don't know if they may have already sold out. I don't know, because I know they had a couple guys on order who were waiting for them, including myself.
Right.
So uses the Delta Point footprint. So obviously I'm a big fan of the Delta Point.
Yep.
A lot of I have a couple guns already cut for the Delta Point specifically. One thing that I did find, because I actually got this slide cut sooner before I got the actual clocks. Okay.
Boom.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show.
Indeed.
Smith and Wesson.
My man.
So we'll do it like this because it's gonna be a lot easier. Boom. So I got this one actually cut before I got the sight, because they said it was a Delta Point Pro footprint. So got this thing done by my buddy over at Dual Hammer. Found him in LAX shooting range over in Manchester. The problem that I had with it, though, is if you can see, it's slightly longer, because he cut it for a Delta Point. So this one's, just ever so slightly shorter. But if you have a proper guy who does proper work on their cuts, this proper work, even though it has a little room, he puts 2 little dimples on it, so it actually locks into place with the screw points. Obviously, like if you're trying to look at it and you're trying to look at aesthetics, it does kind of look like shit with that little opening right there. But I asked him to do it because that was on me. I'm the one who wanted to get it done. So
Yeah. You wanted it done quick.
yeah, I just wanted as soon as I got this in, I wanted to slap it on. So that's why I did it that way. So and it's also a gun that I rarely shoot anymore. This is my oldest gun for sure.
So how many you got? We did a red dot episode, obviously. We're kind of gonna reinvent the wheel here again.
Slightly.
But
Well, let me
you
just
got
come over a review on.
You got a lot of red dots. I think you have more. Justin's catching up, but you got probably the most red dots.
Justin's not catching up.
I just
He's currently.
I just like to test shit.
You like to test stuff, but I'm saying you own the most red dots. Where does this sit right now with all the red dots you have in your shot? Where does this sit on your list?
Well, what are we talking? Are we talking?
We're talking
price
like-
point. Are we talking usability?
Just overall, with all inclusive kind of rating, like where does it sit compared to like your Leopold and your RMR? Like where are you at in the rating of overall, just like price, durability, use? I know you got a few rounds to it, right?
Yeah, I have probably 200 or 300 rounds to it. I haven't done much shooting with it yet.
Are you?
I'm planning actually doing more.
I guess an easier question is, are you happy with it so far?
Yeah, so far I'm actually really happy with it. I think it's a nice sight. It's a little wider than the actual slide, so it kind of sits off just a little bit. Not the biggest fan of that, but I know why they did it, because obviously they have the buttons on the side.
Yeah.
So the buttons on the side is a really big deal to me. I think that's really cool that they move they have buttons on the side. That's my biggest.
It's like the EXPS.
Well, that's my biggest gripe with the Delta Point to begin with, is it's the center button. So as I'm pushing it, like it fucks up. I block the emitter. I can't see what I'm doing, and it's basically you have to go all the way up if I want to go all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the way. So that's really nice about that.
more
I like
intuitive.
that. Yeah, I like that piece about it. I got so used to the Delta Point having the quick release for the battery pack. A little annoyed that it has a screw on here, but that's just my own preference.
Right.
A lot of
Well, a lot of guys do the pressure where you screw the sight into the slide, and that puts pressure on the battery, and you're kind of like,
the RMR I think is the only one that still does that.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think everyone's moved on.
Trijicon's in the '80s still, man. They're in the Gulf War shit.
So I
They
think they're
haven't
the
moved
only. I think I think it's only the RMR that still does anymore. Maybe some of the other ones do. I don't do a lot with the Trijicon.
Trijicon needs
sites.
to do a rebranding and go from Trijicon
But,
to just call it Parallax.
Other
Parallax
thing I thought
sights.
was kind of a miss.
Parallax.
Dude, have you ever seen an eye relief on a Trijicon? Anything?
Tiny.
That's like looking through a fucking anthole, man.
Have you shot with that on it?
Yeah. I put about 300 or 400 rounds through.
So is it the acquisition? Is it easier, harder, same, terrible?
As what?
Find the red dot.
When you're finding
But as what?
Versus Delta Point.
compared to your
So the distance
whatever you
is
use.
slightly different. Well, that's the thing. I have my Delta Point. I also have my the Romeo Max. Romeo Max.
Yeah.
XL.
Yeah, XL.
There's XL or Max, one of those two. I think it's XL. That one's a massive window. It's
Yeah.
larger than the SRO.
It's XL.
It's larger than the SRO.
almost-
So
it's
I like
almost
that
2
one.
times.
That's like my competition one. I will never not see the dot on that thing. You have to have not a perfect grip, but your grip has to be pretty on point for this one to work. Because it is a little bit smaller than the Delta Point Pro, but it's bigger than the RMR.
I did like it when we were playing with it at Jay's place. I did like how easy it was to pick it up. So when I did the EPS carry, I'm an SRO guy. That was my first red dot, so I was kind of blessed with a big window.
Yeah.
And I'm a bad red
Yeah,
dot shooter.
that thing's a way tiny, but it's also
So
a small gun.
but I'm so surprised how easy this is to pick up.
Yeah.
Even if you're just in the dot mode. And what I liked about that is just there's a lot of real estate there, but for some reason it's just very natural to get get the right angle to get your dot.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of this Hollow Sun. It's my first one, but when I picked this up, it's like do they make a smaller version of this yet?
Not yet.
If
If they will, I
they
don't
make a
know.
carry,
I didn't see anything at this past shot show.
if they make a carry, I would like to try a carry version of that out.
Yeah. So I mean, I like that piece about it. I wish the window was slightly larger, like especially because they kept raving about like being the footprint of a Delta Point. So for me, like, I get that like footprint they mean what goes onto the slide, but like when I think if you're gonna compare it to something, you should have more comparabilities, in my opinion. As far as like than just what it goes onto, you should take consideration.
Yeah. So if EOTech were to come to you and be like, Tony, right now, what are a couple suggestions you could do to improve? our site?
So I'd want to have a quick. I like the Delta Point quick release. That's just my personal fan. I'm a big fan of that. I think a big miss for them because what is an EOTech known for?
Donut of death.
Yeah, donut of death.
And who already does it?
What's the donut of death?
It's the reticle.
Well, what I mean, so what? So the little reticle, the little circle with the dot in the center.
Yeah.
It's called the donut of death.
So what? So what optic company currently does that for pistols?
Hollow Sun.
Hollow Sun.
already does. So
Hollow Sun.
obviously it's not impossible to do. Obviously it's known technology. So
Yeah,
they're
in my
already
opinion-
known for it. Like, why not throw it in there? Because that's what EOTech's known for.
Yeah, in my opinion,
So-
I'm surprised they didn't call these holographic pistol sights.
Well, because it's not a holographic sight,
I mean, it's enclosed. It's very similar.
but it's not a
build.
holographic sight.
It ain't no holographic sight.
But so yeah,
Girl.
what are a few things like you like?
So I think they should have added that circle with the dot in there. I think that was a kind of a miss. And if it is in there, then I just haven't figured out how to turn it on. But everything I've looked at and trying to figure out,
That'd be fun.
There's no way. Yeah, I mean it's possible. Maybe I'm just
EOTech's gonna comment on this.
some assholes be like, you're a fucking idiot.
You haven't shot our site at all.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. But so yeah, I think that it just has the regular dot. I don't think the dot is as crisp as like some of the other ones. The glass is really nice, but like the actual dot itself,
The dot's a little blown at higher levels.
yeah. I don't really like that. The buttons I think are I like having the buttons. I think having raised buttons though is a bad idea.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up.
Yeah. So and someone told this to me first before I actually tested it, and then I started actually messing, and I saw where the problem can be, and it's mainly for people who conceal carry with it. So if you conceal carry with this particular one, the dots, it's slightly raised just enough to where like if you're moving around too much,
You're getting it.
or
You're
whatever,
pulling it out. Is it gonna touch everything?
Doesn't say
it's not
what's
gonna
the
touch
snag.
it's not gonna touch when you're drawing, but it like for me, like, you know, I got a little bit of extra love right there.
When you're bent over. Yeah.
So
Me and you both,
a
bro.
little extra sugar.
yeah. So sometimes you know,
I saw you eating that
sometimes I actually
McDonald's
push it.
apple pie.
fucking put them down. I have a problem.
You slugging that thing.
So there's no snag hazard with this in your
There's
experience?
been no snags, but the problem that I've really had, like I said, is it does change the level of intensity.
So you could have a different level when
Yeah,
you pull it out.
when you draw. So and if it's, you know, it's like if you're used to having a lower dot and then you go into
bright.
a dark room and it's just like blown out, like
Yeah.
it is what it is. You deal with it, but you know, or like there may be no dot at all and it's, you know, fucking middle of the day.
Well, adrenaline's pumping and your sight's not there. It's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You ain't figuring that
Point
out.
shooting, baby.
You got to be.
I'll tell you what, my adrenaline's pumping right now. I had a Starbucks coffee with an extra shot of espresso. It's game time.
You're brand new, aren't you?
I'm ready to go. Why do you have a suit on? I don't know.
You're brand
Going
new.
to a wedding later.
You're wearing overalls. They're in a bale of hay in the fucking 100,000-mile radius of us,
I
bro.
was a farmer in a past life.
What happened in this life?
Fucking not a whole lot.
So your red dots, Chris. You own how many you got now? You got one or two, right? You got
I just got the one.
which one do you have?
590, the Holosun.
Holosun.
Yeah.
And we all love that one. I think we all agree that. I think
I think it gets shit on way more than it should
I don't know why. What do people say about that?
because it's Chinese
It's Chinese.
or Taiwanese.
Made in China.
But you like yours. Yours is mounted, correct? Mm-hmm. You 10.8 with that right now, or not?
No.
not currently.
No, I got to put it on. I got to get the optics ready 2.0.
Okay.
MP, yeah.
And you're liking. So I know Jay.
Bum, bum, bum.
I know Jay likes
Jay's
likes the
back.
509T.
This guy's doing it in my seat, dude.
Jay's
likes-
10.8 with it, though.
Jay likes the 5. He's 10.8. We'll have him
Yeah.
talk about it. But
Fuck out of my seat.
you got it, brother. CEO's back.
You want to
folks.
take? You want to take my seat?
Wait.
Fuck out of my seat.
The interim deputy chief has got to go. The coroner's out. So
Would you like your seat back, sir?
No, I don't want him here anymore.
Are you? All right.
I was really hoping to run that joke, but Justin did fuck it up.
He's drinking 805.
What?
Yeah.
Spud Light.
Drinking.
Spud Light.
Wrapped in 805 logos.
This?
Just pull up a second mic there.
He, him, beer.
What are you trying to look at?
It's Miller time.
Oh, you're gonna just get right in front of the camera and fuck with it, because you know no one. It's not gonna focus properly. That's
We just pull B-roll later.
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. You can
B-roll it up.
B-roll it. See?
So who was that guy in the suit?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I think he's got a wedding he's late for. He's got no tie on.
No.
He didn't even have an undershirt on.
It's just
Very
casual.
Unprofessional.
Dude, you could see nips.
Yeah.
It's cash.
Nip slip.
It's ice cold out there. What's the conversation? What's the deal?
We're talking about
EOTech EFLX.
Yeah, we're
EOTech
at
EFLX.
comparing
So I'm
it
giving my things I like, things I don't like. Compared to, I mean, obviously you guys haven't fucked with it. You guys messed with probably tonight or today, later on today.
Hello? Is that our Chipotle?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
But I don't know. It's like I think it has. I still want to do a lot more testing to it. I kind of want to like put it through some some stress tests, like actually like kind of beat it up a little bit, kind of run around and see how it holds.
What would you do to do that? Would you throw it on the ground? What
Yeah,
do you do?
I legitimately
Toss it?
drop it, toss it.
Yeah.
See how the glass holds. See how the sides hold. See how the zero holds. Shit like that, you know, and then just literally run the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to know how well it works. 'Cause I mean, you know, I think you've seen the Delta Point, right? My Delta Point that I have that has that crack in the glass.
Yeah.
So that was an
Still
accident.
running.
That was an accident.
So does it still work with the
Dude, it works fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like it held zero. It works great.
And it doesn't
Like,
bother
it
you
doesn't,
that it's-
No, it doesn't. Like it doesn't actually mess with it doesn't distort the dot at all.
Nice.
It's really weird. So like, you know, for me, like that was a big deal. And it also has that little housing on top of it that kind of like protects it. This has no housing over it. The difference wise. So
Are you talking about like Phil's? How it has the?
no, he put a stupid wrap.
Oh,
No, like
Phil.
so this one has so like on the actual Delta Point, it has a little like an extra hood and an, between like the main piece and like it looks like an exoskeleton. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
best way, it's the best way to describe it.
yeah.
They put it over it to give a little more ruggability out of it. Shut the fuck up.
No one gives a fuck of what you're saying
Go
over there.
to your wedding, dude. You're late. It's already the reception.
God.
Anyways, rudely interrupted.
Jeez.
Goddamn fucking Phil.
So glad
He's probably gonna go propose right at the ceremony.
I'm really glad he's no longer on this podcast.
It's not his day.
He's gonna wear a white. What's the equivalent of a white dress for a male? He's gonna do that. Like a red suit.
A red
Just
suit.
stand out.
Draws all the
about me.
attention. Yeah, it sounds like something you do.
Nice and bright. He has that burgundy one.
Oh, the burgundy one's aggressive.
He has a burgundy suit.
He wore it to
Yeah.
your graduation.
Huh.
That thing's nuts.
More burgundy.
Blacked out.
You gotta have some balls to walk into the suit store. I want a burgundy suit.
He had to be gifted that. There's no way he bought that.
I don't know where the fuck do you get that?
He was probably a pimp in his past life.
I was a farmer. He was a
He was a
pimp.
failed pimp.
P-I-M-P.
Two opposites. Two
Pimp. You just got
Pimping, P-I-M-P. If you don't know, ask about me.
Fuck.
You do now.
Phil the pimp.
So, yeah, but I mean, that's kind of the thing. This one doesn't have the rear sight on it either, so I don't know how well it sits. Like, I can technically see my front sight on this, but I don't, if I actually had the front sight or the rear sights on it, I don't know if it would line up through or not. I've never tested it. But overall, it's a good, I mean, for the price point, like I said, the price point on it, it's a solid price point. You can probably find them around the 350s price point. One of the ones that I found online, Chosen doesn't have it on their website yet. Otherwise, I would give you the Chosen price. But online, I've been finding around anywhere between like 360 to 375, something like that.
Yeah.
So the price point's really good for what it is. Like I said, it has a lot of good features to it. There's a couple things that I think are. It may not be the best for a right-handed concealed carry person. Like
That's me.
Just because of that, like someone who's left-handed, because it flips around. It may be the button issue may not be a thing, but I already have found issues with the buttons pushing. If it's in an out like an overt holster, no problem. It's not going to have any problems like at all. So just I guess little things like that to be aware of, or when buying it or wanting to get it.
So where are most buttons on other models?
So also like for Phil's, like his is on the side as well, but like they're flush.
yeah,
They're like
inside.
it's even depressed a little bit. So
Yeah.
like you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
On my Delta Point, they're right up there, right here on the side as well. On my on the SRO, they have some on the side.
5.9s on the side.
On the side.
Delta, or not the RMR's version 6 is on the side.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Kind of sticks out like that a little bit though.
Does it?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't.
Yeah, you have a Delta?
I don't have the RMR 2 or whatever.
So would you recommend that as like somebody? I don't have one on any of my handguns. Would you recommend that as something to start with for the price point?
I think the price point is perfect. The brand actually obviously kind of speaks for itself.
yeah.
The glass is really nice. The window's larger than an RMR but smaller than a Delta Point.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to assume the battery life is going to be similar to all the other ones that I run. Because I run I for most of my dots, I let it run, especially when I'm testing. Like this is going to run full time. I'm not going to turn this off.
Yeah.
So I want to see how long it'll run. My Delta Point Pro, I can run it for 6 to 8 months before I have to change the battery.
Does that one have the solar on it?
No, this one does not have any.
Does
solar
your
on it.
Delta? Does that
Delta
come-
Point doesn't have any solar.
No.
The only one who has solar that I've seen is been the
Sun?
Hollow Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So-
one's good on the side too.
Yeah. So
Is it depressed or is it sticking out?
It's sticking out.
Uh-oh.
nowhere near as much though. Like so, I mean, look at that thing.
Well, do you have problems with yours brightening and
I don't know. That's not mine.
But he also doesn't. But he's all.
what? Didn't you just pull it out of your bag? Just found it.
It's not mine. I don't know whose that is.
I also don't. But like for these, like he's also not carrying this thing concealed. Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're concealed, like it sticks out pretty far for what.
Well,
this
he's
is.
not carrying it at all. It's not his.
It's facts.
I don't know what it is.
So, and I think my Sig Romeo is also on the side, but a little more flush.
I think it's
So
just
that's my biggest. It's not as flush, and look at it as well. Like the platform, it sticks out a little bit, so it's a little fatter than normal.
Oh yeah.
So because of that, like it just pushes that much.
I like
more.
that grip on there.
So
I think it's just hard to compete. It's like, why would you come out with an open emitter, fatter?
So
it's thicker, it's wider. It's like,
yeah, well,
it's not hitting all.
The open emitter thing, like I think open emitters is a really, really solid optic, but 95% of the people in the world who are shooting optics will never be able to pull the use out of
Well, I think we've just been blessed in good weather. Like if I was in Kansas, like in the winter, it's snowing. It's like like the entire other country doesn't have weather like us. Like it's always raining.
No, but
and
most
shitty.
of those guys aren't fucking. But once again, most of those guys aren't like walking around dealing with that stuff on a regular basis. Like
Well, I mean, if you're a regular guy, no, fuck police departments. I'm just talking like a regular guy can
Fuck
still
the
carry.
police
Let's
departments.
say Kansas, right, or states that have constitutional carry. You have a driver's license, you got a gun, you can carry.
Yeah.
I think like they run into inclement weather all the time, especially during the winter. Look at all the fucking rain we've got. Look at all the
they
weather
run
that's
into
been
it,
happening.
but how often are they drawing their farm where they're actually going to be needing it?
So what are you saying?
That's-
I'm not saying drawing. I'm just saying like maybe they're getting.
But that's my point. Is like if because they're not drawing it very much, it's like and if in order to draw it, that's why you're gonna be using it is to draw it. So if you're not needing to draw it, there's no need to be able to worry about it being wet because you're not drawing it anyways.
What if they're just getting wet themselves?
I'm getting wet 24/7. Does that thing you're saying that's not worth?
It's $300. It's $390 advertised on their website. Now probably with a discount, maybe $350 or whatever. Yeah, it's a decent price point, but
The price point's good. I don't know. I think it hits the majority of the people, like I said, because when you put on a closed emitter has a ton of options, but most people will never actually be able to utilize the additional features, or will never see the benefit.
What's the difference between closed and open emitter?
So this is closed. Basically, the emitter is on the inside of this
Gotcha.
setup.
So that one's hanging out.
The emitter is right here. I can like touch the emitter, and
So
like,
that's
put my finger.
more.
So when you have that, like the emitter can be blocked by debris, by water.
So that's where the elements are coming in here.
Yes, that's where the element aspect comes in. But once again, like if you're concealed carry, right, the potential of dirt or anything,
Water, all that.
water and something get on top of it, very, very slim.
Yeah, it's in your little tummies.
It's very slim.
Yeah.
Even if it's on the side, it's
Or
very,
your Lululemon bag.
it's very slim. It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Guys like when these guys are doing patrol, their guns on the outside. 100%, it makes sense for them to have stuff like that because they're going to be running around dealing with that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're drawing the gun way more than any of us ever obviously will.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they went with this, and by doing it this way, it kind of helps keep it a little smaller price point because obviously, once again, EOTech, they're going to be they're using whatever they're using as far as their processing, and which is going to cost more money because it's more metal. So I think for the price point that they have, they'd have to run the way they do, and that's maybe part of the reason why they don't have some of those nicer features that I like because the Delta Point is a higher price point.
Yeah. So EOTech, this is their first.
This is their first pistol red dot,
Right. And
that I'm aware of.
they're not coming into the game with anything new or exciting. It's
No.
just a nice,
Just another red dot.
decent red dot. Yeah.
Just another red dot.
They decided.
Nothing fancy, nothing to super right home bar. Like I said, the upsides that I have on it is if you have a Delta Point set up already, if you're looking to change it out, but you already have it cut for it, this is a good option to change over to, especially because the button's on the side. The window's slightly smaller, but everything else about it, it works.
what kind of battery does the Delta Point Pro take?
Both these take the same battery. It's a 2032 battery.
Nice. That's a big battery.
Yeah, little coin battery. Like a lot of my watches, most of my optics, they all take that same battery. So for me, I have so many of those batteries. So it's not even a big deal to me.
The other good thing, I don't know if you told you, is like, see how the battery's like on the top? It's like right here.
Yeah.
This one, you have to take the whole optic off.
Well, there you go.
Ruin your zero and then
That's
put it back.
another-
You don't have to re-zero when you put it back.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
So
Yeah, it's
and honestly, like
annoying.
the whole re-zeroing thing, I feel like it's like somewhat of a myth. I think it's more of a confirming your zero still
Sure.
there, rather than having to re-zero.
Make sure it's still, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not really moving off the point, right? The whole point of when they developed the rails for the rifles, they put the T slashes on there. So when you take it off for maintenance, you know exactly where it goes back. So it's theoretically still zero at
In
the
the
same
same
point.
spot, yeah.
So that's the same concept can be taken right here.
Well,
just
this,
put it back to the same
it can't go anywhere else. It's in that one spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it shouldn't be losing at zero.
Yeah.
I'd reconfirm it for sure, but losing the zero, I doubt that's.
It would just
But
like
it's super annoying to change it.
yeah.
back.
I mean,
It's
like imagine it dies at your house and you're like, all right, I got to change the batteries. Like, would you be like, all right, I'm gonna start carrying this concealed without confirming? No, like a regular person's probably gonna want to go to the range and just confirm it. It's probably zeroed, but I mean, I don't
just
think
not having to worry about that. Yeah, that's exactly it's on your life thing. That makes sense. But yeah, that's the or at the range, right? Having like, fuck, I gotta bring out a fucking screwdriver.
That's what I mean.
Torque kit and everything to undo this, torque
Right.
it back down to proper specs, all that crap. Change the battery while I just like undo the top.
Yep.
Drop it. Done.
Yeah, I'm big time on that.
So, but I mean, like I said, RMR, the Trijicon RMR is the only one that I personally know that still does it that way. Everyone else has gone either on top or on the side. Like the Holosuns are on the side.
That's right.
So that's it.
Trigicon's too big too. You know.
You got government contracts.
I don't know.
Pretty
if
much tell everyone to fuck off.
Their acros maybe on the side. I don't know. I haven't fucked with their acros yet, or enough to be able to tell where the battery is. I've shot them. I just like I haven't enough for the battery. I'll probably buy one eventually just to buy one. But
Did you go through specs on that bad boy?
as
Run
far as what?
time.
I mean, we went through.
It's got roughly 20,000 hours of runtime with that 2032 battery.
Constant on.
with just the one battery,
We're gonna.
Damn, it's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
test.
That's probably on the lowest setting.
I'm gonna test that one out.
It's probably on the lowest
I'll
setting
test that
though.
one out.
Yeah.
And then
Because
Aimpoint
Holosun claims 50.
how many
Yeah.
days is that? How many?
you're asking for a lot of math.
Somebody do the math.
Well,
we
he's-
got a
yeah,
math
how
system
many
back there. We
days
need
is
While he's
20,000
doing
hours?
that, we've got it comes in a 3 MOA and a 6 MOA.
say 1 year.
20,000 hours
So.
is 833.33 days.
So that's 3 years.
So it's like 2
Oh,
months.
just 2
2.7
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Yeah.
years.
What else?
I doubt it'll go 2.5 years. I really. I mean, maybe on the absolute lowest setting because my delta point I change out every 6 to 8 months and
That's because it's not an EOTech, baby.
my bad.
Aimpoint does this.
As they were,
shit,
as they
though.
were.
They advertise like this long, but on like 7 setting, not 10.
Yeah, or like
I just
4.
change all my batteries on my birthday every year.
That's
Done.
that's the best way. It's cheap, and you know.
You know,
Is that your
Yeah.
gift?
yeah.
Gifts to himself.
Batteries?
Since nobody ever buys me
Give it
anything,
to myself.
Oh,
it's crazy.
shut it down. Turn it off. We're done here.
So that's basically it. This is a really fucking hectic episode, so I appreciate that, Phil.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Phil.
I'm gay. Hey, does
we know that.
the solar panel version, does that help with the life, or is that just a bunch of BS?
No, it actually does a lot, but
It needs to be in the
fuck
sun.
stick out there decides he doesn't. He actually turned his off apparently.
You can turn the solar panel off?
Supposedly, I didn't know you could, but he says you could. He's like, I turned mine off.
How do you turn off
I
the
want my.
solar-
He's like, I want my battery. I want my setting to be what I left it at when I put it away.
that
On.
On.
Right on.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. I think the solar panel does make a big difference. So they make a the CSC. I don't know which one that is, but they have to make the CSC. It's a little bit shorter. It has no only has an internal battery that you can't change out. The internal battery run off the internal battery. I think for like 90 days.
you can't change out. I know a guy who can change that shit. His name's
You're not supposed to change it out. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be stay in there, you know. But the solar power on top, they use that, you know, the kind of like the eco watches, the citizen watches, where
Yeah.
like any light will
Counts?
start it counts.
Yeah.
So like any light that presents to that particular solar panel will charge it up, and it charges it up right away. And like I said, with no light, it'll last for I think it said 3 months.
Ooh.
So I was like, that's pretty good.
It's nice.
Yeah. So kind of cool. Like that.
Did you tell them that
the
there's
other thing I
no
don't
tint
like-
on the glass too? It's clear.
I did not.
Not a blue tint, nothing. Just
The
straight
other thing
glass.
I don't like about it is I think it's reversed, but they have the down button forward and the up button to the rear. I don't like that. I think it should be the other way around.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the other way.
I think the up button should be on the left side, down button should be on the right, but they have it reversed. So when I first started messing with this, I actually would fuck up and change it the wrong
It's
way.
like those Japanese books. You read it backwards,
Yeah.
but it's a sight.
You read Japanese?
Hey, you ever heard of Lulu?
No,
That's crazy.
I've heard of Lululemon. I know the whole backstory now. I know what he's doing over there.
All right, I think that's about it. That's pretty much the whole setup. So if you're looking for a decent site, I would say it's a good price point. It's a good site to do, especially if you're looking to change out from your Delta point, whether it's broken, you're tired of it, it's too high, whatever it is. It's a good alternative. Has some features to be that are missed in my opinion, but for you guys, it may not miss that. The side buttons, like I said, they sit a little high, so just be aware of that if you conceal carry with it. Windows can be slightly smaller, but like I said, price point is really good. Really nice glass itself. Like I said, the emitter, at least on this one, doesn't seem to be the nicest. Have a little bit of fuzz to it, but if you know how to shoot a red dot, it doesn't really matter anyways. So
Facts.
that's about it.
Go buy one.
Yeah, go check them out. Like I said, Chosen Armory, one of the guys that we work with closely. They started keeping them in stock, so you want to check them out. Reach out to them on Instagram, website, or give them a phone call.
Cool.
Is that it? Anything else for you guys?
That's it.
No, that's it. It was good stuff.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks. All right, so I'm just gonna take this apart real quick.
Sleeve.
Because of where your hands were. You're good now. You good?
You recording?
Yes.
So, EOTech EFLX has the buttons on the side. Runtime about 20,000 hours. Uses the footprint of the Delta Point Pro itself. Doesn't have any real. It has a slight tint on the front, but the tint isn't really nice. Isn't as nice as it could be. It's kind of clear. I think one of the things they missed on the front is EOTech is known for what people call donor to death. They don't have that option on here. At least I haven't been able to find it or messing with it itself. So it has just the regular dot. I think that's kind of a miss on their point because that is known. EOTech's known for that particular optic style. So kind of a miss in my opinion. It's wider than the actual slide itself. So that actually causes some problems with the buttons on the side. One being raised and then two also being the point where it's slightly wider. So now what it's fucking up is when you're trying to conceal carry, you have potential of pushing these buttons. And I've already experienced that messing around with it. So little things like that to be kind of aware of when it comes to this particular piece. Price point on it is about I think their MSRP through EOTech, or what they claim, is $389. I think it is, or $395, something there. You can find it in between $350 to $375 on the standard market. It's a good optic if you're looking to change from a Delta Point to this, or looking to just get into the red dot game, mainly due to the price point itself. EOTech, very well-known company. Can't really go wrong.